Hi, in this little video I thought I'd just show you a little project that I've been inspired to make by obviously going on YouTube, and I watched a lady, I think she's called Saw Crafter, and she basically cut by hand a cardboard carousel, and I thought it looked really nice and she did a lovely job, but it inspired me to do this project. Although I don't think I'd have enough patience to cut everything out by hand. So that leads me to show you what I've had in my craft stash, and which will be really beneficial to me. Right, so from Create and Craft I bought this hexagon box set. And yes, it makes beautiful boxes and I'm really pleased with it. But I thought it would make a lovely base for a carousel. So that's what I intend to do. I'm going to make a carousel. You get this in the set, so you know you can decorate your boxes to your heart's content. But also I'm going to use this tattered lace carousel die. It's really quite pretty when it's cut out, and that's basically one of the little carousel horses there. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to decorate this particular carousel in just cream and gold, and I've been inspired by looking at my curtains, so I thought yes, I'll do that. So I'm going to keep it simple. So I'm going to do a fast play video because it's just easier, because you don't want to see me sitting here making flowers and embellishments. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make all my embellishments. Now here's the box that set makes. So you could either make this and keep it as a box, a memory box for a child, or a Christmas box, stuff it with sweets or what have you. But just this particular one, I'm just going to make it up as a carousel. So I think what products I've actually used, I'm starting to really love my little diamond press here. Love that. So I've also used my brother's scan and cut, and that's basically to cut a silhouette out. Because like I think I've explained in another video, you just get the outer bit to that die, so you want something a little bit more solid. And all I've done is I've just sort of like put a piece of card just there, and just to make it a little bit more thicker, that's all really. And I just needed a silhouette, so I've just cut them out, and you have to excuse my dog snoring in the background. And again, using my brother's scan and cut, I've just cut I think it's a 7.5 inch scallop circle. But if you didn't have that, you could just sort of like use one of those paper plates or something, and basically put a line in it, and that is what I'm going to make the roof out of, and generally just decorate it up. I'm not going to use hot glue today. I'm going to try and use Yoo-hoo glue, one of my favourites, and I have been using this glue, which is from just B&M, and it's really pretty good, that stuff is. I thought it would be cheap enough, but it's not. And I've just got sort of like, I've made embellishments here, that's just to go round, and the diamond press, I've not wasted anything, been making little embellishments. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the video on fast play, and I'm just generally going to make it up as I go along. Alright then, join me later. Bye for now. I'm using an empty toilet roll. It's amazing how many uses us crafters can have for these. And I'm sticking some glittered paper around and making sure that it's well stuck down, so I don't want any curled up corners. I'm also going to be using peel-offs, which I've had in my cloth stash for quite some time. I think they're an easy option rather than having to get your dies out, and they do look quite pretty when you can get them to stick on. Sometimes you have to go in again and glue them. I'm just sticking the toilet roll to the base of the carousel. I've stood up so I can make sure that I get it central, because it is important. And now I'm just sticking the lid on again, making sure that it's nice and central. This was the only bit of the carousel that I found a little bit difficult to do. I was trying to put the horses on, not quite sure where to actually put them. So I just sort of like eyeballed it and guessed really. So in the end it looked okay. Just adding the trim along here. I've embossed the trim. I thought that looked quite nice. I could have just made that a little bit longer, because you can still see the cream card underneath it. And also the roof. I wish I'd have made that just that little bit wider, but I was using A4 card, so it was just that little bit difficult for me to do. But it's a learning curve, and the next one I'll do, I will just make it wider. And no carousel is complete without a flag, so this one had to have one too. So here's the carousel finished. Quite pleased how it's turned out, and it's one of those projects where you could actually use it for a number of things. You could use it as a memory box for baby if you kind of like decorated it in nursery themed. Christmas, it'd be ideal for Christmas. You can either leave the top off and use the top as the box itself. What I've done, you can still get into the box itself at the bottom. So yes, all in all, it was quite nice to make. So if you have any questions how to make it, then just leave me a post, and I'll try and get back to you, try and answer it for you. But it is relatively easy enough with the with the dies and everything. It's not one that you can do without the dies. Well, saying that though, you can actually buy the paper die cuts of the horses on eBay. And if you had a template to make the hexagon there's no reason why you couldn't make it. There's a lot of cutting by hand though. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this quick little demo, and thanks for joining me then. Bye.